one more video. Okay, now we're gonna be working with competition individuals. Okay, this is a very important area of the program, and it will be divided. It will be divided because it will be a very long video if we just do one video. So we're gonna start by explaining first what is this video all about. Okay, we're gonna be working now with individual competition, okay, with brackets. And this program is designed to work with three types of brackets, okay? So we go to Kumite and we go to individual Kumite and we get this menu, okay? This means brackets of 4 competitors. If you have only 4 competitors in a division, this is the bracket you will want to be using. If you get a division with 8 competitors, this is the bracket you want to be using. If you get a division with 16 competitors, this is the bracket you want to be using. Now, the question is, if they are less than 16, but they don't go to be less than 8, you use this one. From 8 to 16, or 9 in this case to 16, you will use this bracket. If you got 4, or in this case 5 to 8, you want to use this bracket. If you only got 4 competitors, you want to use this bracket. And each bracket works in a similar way, but they're different, and then in the key will be a different type of key. And our system is designed to work with repertoire. So it will create you the repertoire key that you need for your competitors. This is a self-contained system. It does everything for you. It does, every single detail. It would advance the competitor to his next row. It will move him straight back to the repertoire area. And what area is he gonna fall? The system does everything. And when you pick a key that does not have enough competitors to fulfill the full key, you get to have the buy competitor, the buy, which means that it is not a competitor to match that competitor. And that's like the free pass for the competitor because there's nobody for him. The buy, the system will automatically assign that for you. Great. Now, like we explained before in other videos, you get 2 different ways, in this case, of setting up your keys. So, I don't want to start with the 4 competitors. I don't want to start with the 16 competitors. I'm going to start with the 8 competitors, and then we're going to do a review of the 4 and of the 16. Because this is basically the same thing. Okay? So, let's go over the 8 competitors area, and we're gonna go for the Kumite 8 competitors. We click it. Great. We get the screen. First thing we got to do is, once we get this screen, is click insert. Beautiful. So what are we inserting? We're inserting our new event. We are creating a new event of Kumite. Okay, how many events of Kumite am I gonna have? Well, as many as divisions and categories you get to have on your event. So if you get to have 30 divisions, divisions meaning that you have like from 8-year-old to 9-year-old, from 10-year-old to 12-year-old, whatever, all the way you define it, all those divisions, they will all compete. So you will get as many keys as you need. And the system will allow you to infinite amount of keys as you need. So great. We got to pick the tatami. That's the first thing it asks us. Remember, we created this when we started the program, and we defined what tatamis we had available. So this is going to be a Kumite. So I want to use the tatami number 1, which is a 100 pieces. I like it, so I'll pick it. Great. So I filled that out. Still got to fill some information here. So I'm going to fill out here what is the code of the event. Great. Let's look for the code. This is the code of the event. In this case, we remember we used the KTS 1010. Yeah, so let's use that one. Great. It brought the information up. And now here comes the magic. What's the magic? What's the magics? Okay, the magic is this. We gotta pick, how are we going to run our event? Are we gonna use the random automatically assigned competitors by the system? Or we gonna do the manual assigned competitors on the system? And they both have advantages and they both have disadvantages. And let's go over the advantages first. The advantage of using a manual pick competitors is you could individually match each competitor if that's something you like to do. Like, I have these two elite guys, which is, I know they're very good. Let me match them two together. You can do that because you have the control of the key. Great. But then you get the disadvantage would be the same thing. People telling you, I don't want you assigning my competitor with that competitor. I would like it to be random and have him maybe face somebody else. Well, that's a question of preferences, right? Then you got the other option, which is the option is automatically assigned it randomly by the system. Advantage? Obviously, the system assigns them for you. You don't have to worry about that. But disadvantages, you might get conflicts, right? These two students are friends. They're from the same dojo. They're from the same family. They're from the same organization. I don't know. It's so many things that happens in a tournament that you think they're taken care of that they're not. So the system assigning them randomly, it will not know. So it will just assign them and that's it. The question is, if it is assigned randomly, can I still change the competitors from area? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The system will assign them automatically, but you still can move them around. Same thing. What happens if somebody comes into the event late? I don't know, something most people won't allow, but it does happen, right? And depending on the kind of event, it might be allowed. So, and he wants to get into the key, but he never got registered into the tournament. But he is in the list of competitors, right? You can also pick him and add him in the key, even if it's manual or random, okay? So you get a lot of flexibility on the way of designing and picking the way that the competitors are going to compete on the event. Okay, great. We want to see some action. So let's go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to categories, okay? And in the categories, I had to do some setting up behind the scenes. I did this before I went to do this video. And what did I did? Well, simply I went to the system and I made sure that right? Sorry for the redundancy. That I had enough competitors for a particular key. Let me explain. If you're doing the key manually, then the control is on you. You're the one that is going to make sure that the competitors match on your key. And let me tell you something. Even though it sounds a little bit unlogical to do it manually, and sounds more smart or easier or faster to do it randomly, the most of the time, my experience is people end up doing the keys manually. Because unless you're doing a tournament of over 200, 300, 400 competitors, 500, thousands of competitors, the probabilities are that you're going to get in one certain category not enough competitors to get a key done. So you will have to end up combining, right? Combining categories in order to be able to fulfill enough competitors in a division so the division can run. The idea of this is maybe you get competitors from 11 and 12, But then you need competitors from maybe 13. So that you could 13, 11, and 12 be enough competitors to get at least a decent key running. And if that's the case, then you can go with random, because the system cannot go with a key that is not defined on the category when you created the category the first time. So if that would have been the case, and like you're in a tournament and you're in the rush of the action, and this is something that just happened, you just came to the realization that you only have one competitor of this category, and then you got this other division that has 3 competitors in the other category, and you want to move this competitor to that category. It's really doubtful that you will go all the way. But you could do it. You could do it. But doubtful because of the time, the speed, the action, that you're going to go all the way to the beginning of the program and create the category with the age 11, 12, and 13, and then you're going to go to the competitors and change the category that you assigned in the beginning of 13, and then do all these setups just to get these 3 competitors in the same category that wasn't envisioned in the beginning of the event. Not something you cannot do. It is possible. That's why when you see here categories that says 11, 12, 13, 14, it's because this happened before, you see? And we had to join all these ages together in order to get a decent category running. But then you got to remember to put to that competitor when you register him in this category. This is very important to understand it. Because if you don't, the random thing is going to really cause you a lot of confusion. Okay? Now, when I said I did some stuff beforehand, is I made sure that the category 11 and 12 years old had enough competitor to fill out the key. So I went to each competitor and I changed arbitrarily their age and category so that they match this. Obviously, you can't do that in your tournament, but in this case, this is just a demo. This is demo data anyway. For this demo purpose, it works beautiful. In your case, you don't have to do this either if you have 2, 3, 4, 500, 1,000 competitors. And let me tell you, I've seen tournaments of thousands of competitors and still have this problem. That you get just one competitor for one age, and then you get a bunch from other age, and you have to do something with that guy, or else he's not going to compete. So it's not like something that we don't see every once in a while in a tournament. So great. I'm going to pick the category that I set up. It was the 11 to 12 years old male. I'll click it, and it's set up. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to pick the division. And I went beforehand, and I changed all these competitors of 11 and 12 years old to what division? To the advanced division. Okay? Advanced division. And let me show you what exactly I did, because I want you to know what that I did. I went to here, the competitors. I looked at for these competitors, you see there? And I just changed them. That's all I did, okay? That's all I did. I just went there and I changed them, you see? And I changed them from that division, and I changed them to this division and this category. That's what I did. Okay, great. So that's done. So they're going to be advanced. All those students are going to be advanced. And we're going to go with the random thing first. So that's why I'm using that one. Modality. What modality are they going to be competing in? Well, we picked the A key, individual Kumite. So that's what we're going to put in the modality. Kumite individual A competitors. Double click it. Beautiful. That's done. So what else is it that we need to know? This of the queue, we haven't touched this, and this is in every single module that we've been seeing, but this is beyond the scope of this video though. But I want you to know what is this all about. This is because you could create a lot of keys beforehand and just have them stored on the system, right? And when the key is ready to go live, start competing, Right now, here, when you click stop, you see the division is stopped. If you click on Q, that means that it's on deck. And if you click done, that means the division is finished. If you click start, the division already start. So that means this event started if I put it in start. And why would I want to do this? Because when I click here start, this system provides a module called Q, which is you're going to see it around here, somewhere around here. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry. It's in the module of external screens, which is it's not here, and I don't want to look out. Oh no, you get a version here, right here, and it's in the module of external screens. Why? Because that's a module you want to be running on different screens. So you really won't want to be running it here though. But if you would, you will have it there. But the reality is you want to have this maybe on your staging area. You want to have this maybe on the public area, so that when the competitor sees this monitor, he could see, oh look, my division already started, and he could go running and go to staging, or either go to his tatami and be ready to compete. So this is a very important thing, but it's beyond the scope of this video. It will be a separate video talking about the queue, and we'll explain how it works. It's just I want you to know why are we not touching this when it is there. Okay, so let's keep going. Great, everything is fine. We just define our event. This is our event. Now, we're going to click. Do we want to register competitors? Yes. So we click a yes here. Okay, great. Okay, we want to register competitors. And then we get here, random select. Do we want to randomly select the competitors? Well, yes. If I click random and I click, it comes here and shows me this message. Oh, what's this? It says, you picked a division or a category that has more than 8 competitors. Do you still want to do it? And this is like a warning for you to know that in reality, you should have used the key of 16 competitors. But I did this on purpose. I want to use this one. So in this case, we will do this. We'll use the 8 one. And then we could do the same random thing for the 16s to see what happens there. Okay, so great. Look, it created my key. It put everybody in the key. I didn't assign none of these competitors. It assigned them by himself. Everything is pre-assigned. Competitors from the key that I just predefined. Great. Let's say I want to go with this key that he just picked. So I got 2 steps I got to go for. 1, I got to save the information. And then I got to register the competitors. And you could either register the competitors and then save, or save and then register the competitors. In this case, the order does not matter, but you do have to do both. Once you do that, you're done. That's it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what do I get when I did this part. Well, usually every official on the desk, on the table, likes to have the key that is going to be, the rep chart that is going to be running this event. They like to have it on paper. So you could go here to print, and you could just print the key. So if you go here and click print, you get your key right here. Okay? And if you print this out on a piece of paper, the person of the desk can follow through the results of your event. Okay? Great. And you also can print the rep chart, but the rep chart, you don't want to print it now because it will come out empty, because you still don't have nobody losing or winning in order to get information there. Once this key is done, you can then print this one, and it also will come out with the information automatically. Great. And if you want a list of the competitors, in order for you to go and double check that all the competitors that are going to compete in your key are there on your tatami, you can print the list, and here you get all the competitors that are supposed to be ready for your tatami. Great. And also you can see they give them their colors so that they know the colors they should be wearing for the competition. Okay, Remember, we also got a lot of information here. What tatami are they supposed to be assigned to? The age that is competing, the information of the event. You know, you get a lot of very good information there. So great. Great. We got everything registered. We got everything saved. What's the next step? Okay, so we go here. And now here we get our key. Okay, this is beautiful because now we can see the order that the competition is developing on the floor here. And another thing we get when we get this is we get a lot of external scoreboards that follows through with all this that you can have in your tatami if that's a desire. So let's do here. Okay, and we're gonna open the display external results. Great. And we're gonna do here the trick that I told you. Every time I put this here, we're gonna be assuming that this is a computer and this is another computer or another monitor, sorry. Right? So on this monitor, remember that in this scoreboard we had the kata thing before, remember, where we got our console? Now we're not going to be working with that. Now we're going to be working with a screen of Kumite individual or pantalla Kumite individual, okay? And when we click it, we get all this. And what's all this? Well, remember, the first thing we want to get from here is the A Kumite. Because we said we were going to do an A Kumite. So we get the A Kumite screen. So we click it. And another thing it's going to do here is going to ask me for what event. And we're going to go here and we're going to check what event it is. We're in the event 58. Always remember, we got to look for these numbers. Event 58. Great, no problem. We're going to look here for the event 58. We can either scroll down, or we can either just type it here and click tab, or we can either use these little buttons to help us go all the way to the bottom or to the top. But I found it. Great, double click it. And I get this floating window, which is I'm just going to put in another monitor so the public can see. And I don't have to touch none of this. Why just set it up once and you set it? And it was an ad before that, you remember he said you set it and forget it. So that's the way you do this. You set it and you forget it. You just leave it there and you don't have to touch it anymore. So we go here and we go to our key. And I want to explain you some stuff here, some little details I want you to learn from this. Okay, you could do this just as a visual thing. And what I mean by visual, I mean maybe you're using a scoreboard from another brand, from another manufacturer, somebody else, or you're using another way to get the results of your competitors, and you're not going through the whole system of ours to get those results. Why you would do that? Well, I don't know. That's something you got to figure out. It could be that you're doing a kata event and you're doing it by flags. You're not doing it through the new way of WKF. So if you doing a kata event, you don't need to do scoring board because it is no scoring board on katas. So, but you still do get a key, a repertoire key, and you want to see how the competitors go and win this and win that if you're going through a traditional way. And this allows you to do that. Look what it does. I want you to see both screens, okay? So this is what happens. If you're not going to use the scoring system of the karate tournament system, but you do get the results. Let's say Dario competed against Darielis. And let's say Dario won, right? I just click the checkbox of Dario and look what happened automatically. on the other screen, oh, Dario gets checked. And it shows to the public that Dario win. And if you click results, not get results, remember, get results will be for the automatic thing that is through the scoreboard of this system. So I click results, and this is what happens. When you go here, you get automatically Dario passed through the key, and now he's on the second row of competition. Now, if this key is competing Sonja with George, I'll say, in this case, Sonja wins, right? And if you say Sonja wins and you click results, she passes to the key, and the public is seeing right here who passed through the key, okay? I never touched the screen. This happened automatically, right? And the same thing goes here. I'm going to say Jadiel won, and I click results, and he automatically appears here. I say, in this one, Carlos wins, and I click results, and the information automatically appears. Now they're seeing this, and they know what colors they got to be preparing themselves for. They know who passed through the other key. Great. Let's go for the other one. Now here we got the competitors again, one more time. And in this case, Dario wins. And you click get results. Dario passes the key. And then you go here and you say, oh, in this one, Jadiel wins. You click results. Boom, he appears here. And boom, you get your information all the way to the end of the key. And finally, we say Dario wins, and we click get results, and automatically the information appears here. Remember, I told you this system also works with the repertoire. Look what happens with the repertoire automatically. I didn't have to do nothing. I just go here to repertoire, and he already knows who are the persons that are going to be running for the 2/3 right here. He created this automatically by the results of this event. Okay, so now I say Sonja wins, and I click results. She passes to this key, and then I click Carlo wins and give results, and he passes to this key, and then I say Sonja wins. I click results, and she passes to the finals. Wow, this is great. Now what happens? I click here, and I get all the positions of the people that won. And then you're going to ask me, do I get that here? Of course. You would just go here and click here, and you're giving the results of the repertoire. People are seeing it on the screen. You click here, and people are seeing the results of the competitors, first, second, third, and third. And you didn't have to do none of this. Just come here and change the tab so that the public can see what is going at each part of the tournament happening. Okay, so they could keep tabs on the event. And if you go to this area, right, to this area, now you can just go here and print the repertoire, and it shows you the full repertoire with all the information, who won, the positions, everything is in there. And it does the same thing for the regular chart. You get all the information, really nicely done. No pencil and paper, no writing from people that you might never understand their letters or the way they write. Everything is really nicely done computer-wise. Great. Great. So the question is, what did we just did in this video? Well, in this video, we learned that we can use our system to show the repertoire system through a external scoreboard that the system provides, and that we get the keys on screen of the event, and that we could do this manually, assigning who wins and who goes to what position through the whole event. And all this happening automatically here without me having to interact with the scoreboard that is being showed to the public. Okay, so that's the recap of this first part of the event of kata of kumite individual. Kumite individual, the first part. Now we're gonna go in the next video for the second part, and we'll see how we're gonna work the event with our scoreboard system, which is, I hope you like. It is beautiful and gorgeous, and you will love it. Okay, so let's go. Let's leave this there and wait to see you in the next video.